It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here. And I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Thank you. Me too. Tonight, we'll see the Los Angeles Lakers playing against the Brooklyn Nets. Looking at the Nets, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. And fellas, a new season about to begin. Clean slate. Plenty of hopes and dreams out there. Kenny, how do you spot a new legitimate contender?
I usually look for the team with good balance, where one guy isn't doing everything. One guy can facilitate everything, but he can't do everything. So offense, defense, balance, and they gotta have a big shot maker.
You know, I look for unselfishness, guys playing with each other, mental toughness. No weak-minded team has ever won a championship, Ernie.
How about continuity, too? How about very little changeover from a team that was really good the previous year, may not have gone as far as they wanted, but returning the same bunch?
That helps.
Yeah. Well said.
No need to add anything to that.
Continuity. Yeah. Kevin Harlan knows all about that.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Tell them sit down. Be humble. 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 Sit down.
Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, our Hall of Fame sideline reporter David Aldridge. And a great surprise tonight. Our surprise guest will be in the booth calling the game with us tonight, folks. We have Laker legend, 18-time NBA All-Star Kobe Bryant here at the table. Kobe, thanks for stopping by.
No, thank you. It's a pleasure to see all of you, and thank you for having me.
We've got the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Luke Walton played 10 seasons in the NBA, but it wasn't until near the end in 2011 that he started to consider coaching. Walton says, "I never thought about it until I hurt my back." Now, while he was out of action, Phil Jackson invited him to sit in on the coaches' meetings. Walton said, "I realized that I like that side of the game." And Kevin, he succeeded Phil Jackson as head coach of the Lakers. Back to you.
It definitely did, David. He won titles when he played for the Lakers. Now he'll try to bring that winning mindset back to L.A. Talk, Kobe, about some of the great one-on-one scores. You might be the best ever, actually. But when you take a look at the crop now, who are some good guys in that one-on-one category that you like?
Kyrie's sensational.
Yeah, great handle. How about his handle? Like one of the best ever, man.
Yeah, but he can post too, though.
No,
I mean, that's the thing is he can post up. He can turn left shoulder. He can turn right shoulder. He can shoot a left-hand jump hook coming across the middle. He can pull up going left. He can pull up going right. He can attack off the handle. Mm-hmm. He can attack off a triple threat. Mm-hmm. You know, he's built the game without any weaknesses. I think most players, should be thankful that he's not 6'6".
You're right, because he'd be Kobe Bryant then, right?
Yeah.
He'd be Kobe Bryant. But I always thought that, when his dad played big-time college basketball, played in Australia, your dad played. I mean, there is something inherent, regardless of how much, that comes from the son of a pro player.
Growing up overseas as well.
Exactly, in Australia.
Growing up overseas as well. And look at his game being so fundamentally sound and having basic structure. There's a lot to be said for that.
Absolutely. So the Nets starting five. Crabbe is out there with Russell. Then it's Mozgov. Then it's Damari Carroll. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 4. Now here's Carroll. Down to 5 on the shot clock. There's a screen. Free throw line jump shot. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Russell's got his first basket of the night. Well, Kobe, something that's such a huge tool in the NBA and the team's offense is the pick and roll, the screen roll game. You've done it as well as anybody. Just how are the nuances and the attention to detail important to make that play work?
Well, it's really important, but the screen roll today is run differently than it was, say, when Utah was running it with Stockton and Malone. What you're seeing now is more of a spread floor screen roll action where it makes rotations very difficult because you have to rotate off of shooters at a distance.
Right.
So now what you tend to see more teams try to down pick and roll coverages and sending guys to one side of the floor and try to play the screen roll coverage with 2 men. And try to not have 3 guys in the action where you have to rotate and now push your team behind, right? And that it's a dance of, can you play the screen roll with just 2 guys? And on offense, can I force you to have a 3rd guy come in and rotate? If I can do that offensively, then you're behind.
Brooklyn shooting their first free throw of the evening.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws, so those are numbers you'll be happy with.
That's good from Crabbe. You know, Kobe, the league seems to be moving away from isolation basketball, sometimes called hero ball, in favor of more ball movement, more of a fluid offense. What do you make of that trend?
Well, I think it's the right thing. I mean, if you look at the way the Knicks played, for example, when they had Bill Bradley, Busher, Phil was coming off the bench.
Well, you are a historian. You love the history of the game, don't you?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I can just tell working with you.
Yeah. Holtzman was coaching. You had Frazier out there. I mean, they moved the ball. I mean, everything was predicated on ball movement, as was the Celtics with Brett Auerbach. And then in the 80s, things changed a little bit. You start going to more isolation ball, where guys would post deep and force a double coverage to come all the way down to them, and then you start moving the ball around. Now you start seeing a spread offense where the ball's moving again like it was when the Knicks were playing and the Celtics were playing. And so, I think it just depends on the style of defense that you're seeing and the personnel that you have. I think that determines your style of play.
Yeah, much improved foul shooter. KCP also starting to get to the line at a higher rate.
Carroll kicks to Russell. Screened by Russell. Hollis Jefferson passes to Carroll. They set the pick. Russell from long range. Randall grabs the board. Lakers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And with all the different technological advances in the league, you see a lot of player and coaches now reviewing clips and tablets and a lot of film sessions. I know you used to study a lot of the league's videotapes. How much easier is film study now, say, from the time in the late 90s when you got in the NBA?
It's so much easier.
Really?
Oh, my God. When I used to get in the hotel rooms, you used to have to call the front desk. They used to roll up the TV on the wheels
with the VCR machine,
with the VCR connected to it, right? And I have to have all of these tapes, and you got to put the tape in, and you got to rewind it, and you got to fast forward it, and you got to rewind it.
Yeah.
Now it's just everything's right there in front of you, right? And it's very easy to skip and go to the next game, and then jump back to the game before, or fast forward to the fourth quarter. I mean, it's so easy now.
And at 6'6", Ball, very similar to Jason Kidd in terms of the vision that he plays the game with. His IQ is off the charts.
And he sinks the second. Some say, Kobe, that the shooting guard crop in the NBA right now, a little light in terms of depth, not quite as many top 2 guards as we used to see play the game. Who do you like among some of the 2 guards you see now in the NBA?
Well, it depends who we're considering the 2 guard.
Right,
now,
because they just blend,
the 2s,
don't they?
The 3s, they all just blend.
The combo guards are playing some forward position. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. So, shooting guards to me are guards that have to do everything. You have to be able to play the post. You have to be able to play the perimeter. You have to be able to play the point. You have to do everything. So I'll put Russell Westbrook in that category. I'll put James Harden in that category. I'll put Kawhi Leonard in that category. There's a lot of players I'm forgetting. Even Giannis, I would say, is 2 guard because of what he does.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talented guards out there.
Did you like the ball in your hand, bringing it up, or would you have rather someone else bring it up, then get it to you in the half court, and then do what you did?
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm jealous about Michael, because Michael didn't have to do that. He had Pippen.
Yes, right. Who always brought it up.
Yeah,
yes,
so he could focus on coming off the screens and catching and shooting. He didn't have to think about facilitating first. He could think about scoring and then passing out of double teams.
And Kobe, you talked about coming off screen. Some guys come off a screen and kind of just lollygag. You came off and you pass the ball and then get back at it
efficient.
again. Yeah.
Efficient.
Explode off those screens.
Angles, right?
Yes.
You got to be able to read those things. And when you're catching, you're in attack mode all the time. Because then it's demoralizing to the defense.
I'm sure it is.
Because you're always on.
Yeah.
You're always looking. You're always checking. You're always in fear that he's going to attack. So, yeah, we always try to keep our foot on the gas.
Always.
Or foot on the throat.
Yeah. That free throw good from Randall. And in the history of the NBA, only a handful of players have lasted 20 seasons. Kobe, you played all 20 with the Los Angeles Lakers, an NBA record for seasons with one team. What does it mean to just having worn that Laker jersey your entire career?
Well, I mean, it's a huge honor. I've always been a massive Laker fan, even when I was a kid. And so I never dreamed that I'd actually be wearing the golden armor for my NBA career. So to be sitting here right now, having played 20 years, is literally the coolest dream that could have ever happened to any kid. Happened to me.
And I don't know that it'll happen again. The way the league is structured now, the money, the free agency, even though you had a chance to leave a couple times, you always chose to stay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's loyalty is a word that you hear thrown around often. But in this day and age, it's very tough to see in sports because of the cap, because of, the free agency market and so forth and so on. So I've been very, very fortunate to have a great organization and to be able to have played 20 years of my career here.
And over the course of your career, Kobe, 5 NBA championships. Are there any of those that really stand out among the 5 that you accumulated?
The last one, beating the Celtics. That was the hardest one by far to get.
Why so?
Well, we're going into Boston now with the series tied 1-1. And Boston is absolutely excited about having the split and going home now and having 3 games at home, thinking that the series was not going to come back to L.A. And so that was an interesting playing flight for us. And then to go out and get the very next game, just to go down 3-2, coming back to L.A. And then to finally pull out that series after being down 15 in the fourth quarter against the Celtics. Can't get any better than that.
And Kobe, something that has changed in the NBA over the course of your career is the role of the power forward, the 4. More and more you need to be able to stretch the floor, take your guy outside, shoot the 3. Do you feel that that's a trend, or is that something you think that is here to stay in the NBA?
Well, I think things will evolve and things will change. I mean, you start getting power forwards like Tim Duncan and Garnett back in the league, Dirk. All of a sudden, it becomes less and less of a commodity to have smaller fours.
Right.
Because you're going to need to deal with the Tim Duncans and the Garnetts of the world. So I think it's just a natural evolution thing.
Did you, when you had to guard a big like that, ever fear going out and trying to get him on the side or even working him inside the lane where he would have more power, more advantage?
No, I never worried about it too much. What I try to do is I always try to study the film and figure out what their tendencies are, what their sweet spots are, and you just try to get them off of that. It's not necessarily about the size of them, but how do you get yourself in position when you can knock them off balance a little bit and use the lack of size that you have to disorient them.
In competition, once again, Kobe, the thing that drives you so much, even on the practice floor, you and Jordan were so much alike in that regard. Is it important to go with your teammates and challenge them in those practices that you recall?
You have to challenge them, because if you don't, then they become conditioned to not have those challenges every day, right? So if you come off of a night where you have a back-to-back, for example, and you have a practice the next morning, it's our responsibility to step into that practice and challenge them as if it was the game that we just played the night before, right? Because if you do not, then you don't have that competitive spirit day in and day out, where then you feel like you can take games off because you can take practices off because you just don't have it in practice, right? So it's our job to bring that every single day so that competing just becomes a habit for them.
And you learn about their mental endurance, their physical endurance during those practices.
Well, yeah, you challenge them to learn about themselves, right? You challenge them to think about themselves. Can I push a little extra? I'm going to have to, because he's driving me like crazy. And if I don't meet that challenge, I'm going to have to hear his mouth all practice long. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the plane. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the bus. I'm going to have to hear his mouth in the locker room.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just compete.
Hits it from three-point range. Russell's got 8 points.
Yeah, and we're going to be watching this for the next decade or more. Russell Savage from deep.
Picked by Randall, and the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
Taking a look here at the numbers for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, how he did last season. Last season, he averaged 13 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And it's always nice to be able to bring a shooter like him off the bench.
Well, hard to win if you can't get points productivity, and that's what makes this guy valuable to that second unit.
Now, here is Russell. He's got 8. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Kobe, I'm assuming that you've had teammates come back later and say, Kobe, you made me a better player.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when we're playing together, they don't like it very much because I'm always challenging them. But then at the end, like even to this day, we're all very close. We're all great friends because they knew, what I was trying to do was trying to push them to be the best version of themselves.
Free throw good, Russell.
Yeah, and with this increased aggressiveness offensively, Russell's shooting more and more free throws.
A big group substitution here for the Lakers. Zubac is checked in for Lopez. Nance comes in for Julius Randle. Luol Deng is checked in for Ingram. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Ball. And so he hits both. Well, Kobe, you look at all the former Defensive Player of the Year, and they're almost always big men. You were a 9-time first-team all-defensive selection in the NBA. Do you think guards sometimes get overlooked at the impact they have in a game and a play?
Yeah, they definitely do.
All the time, huh?
I think the bigs have a huge responsibility in protecting the rim, and those things are very easy to measure.
Right, block shots,
blocks,
and exactly,
rebounding,
altering
altering shots or defensive rebounds. For guards, it's tougher. But still in all, there's some guards out there who have done it. Michael and Gary Payton and Kawhi Leonard. I count him as a guard. They're just phenomenal defensive players.
Where does that mindset come from? That defensive mindset when you're an offensive gifted player like yourself?
Well, I think that's a truly competitive person. Some players will call themselves competitive, but you're not truly competitive if you only compete at one end of the floor. That's not what true competitive people do.
Nets leading by 3. And Kobe, you played for a handful of coaches during your career. When you look back on it, was there one coach you wished you could have played for but didn't have maybe a chance to play for?
Greg Popovich. That's an easy one for me. Although I did play for him in several All-Star games.
Yes, you did.
And one particular All-Star game in practice, he came up to me and said, okay, do you want me to just kind of go through like a whatever practice, or do you want me to do the real thing? I said, Pop, you got to do the real thing, because I've been dying to see what really goes on inside these Spurs practices.
Oh, my gosh.
You got to give us a real practice, man.
Yeah.
And he did. And Tim just kind of looked at me and was like, dude, seriously.
What are you doing here?
Come on, you're killing me.
So what was a Popovich practice like for you, and how did you try to set the tone?
It was high energy, and we moved from drill to drill, and it involved a lot of passing and moving and spacing, and so all of the shooting, it wasn't any individual shooting. All the individual shooting took place within a 5-man offensive structure, of ball movement, of passing and cutting, and all of a sudden your shot comes here in the corner, and then you slide up to the next line, and you dribble, penetrate, and kick it, and then you slide to the next line, dribble, penetrate, kick, right? So it involves constant movement where you're constantly training and conditioning the body, that you're not just going to pass and stand and be a participant, right? You're going to be involved into that, in the action, not going to be a passive participant.
Los Angeles shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Caldwell Pope. Kobe, that fadeaway jump shot here is such a foundational part of your game. What's the key to that particular shot? And who's carrying the torch for that shot now?
Well, yeah, the fadeaway is there's different ways to shoot the fadeaway. There's a Hakeem Olajuwon way of shooting the fadeaway. There's a Michael way of shooting the fadeaway.
Oscar used to do it, and I know you.
Oscar used to do it quite a bit. So I try to use bits and pieces from each, depending on the defender that I'm facing. But yeah, there's certain players that are carrying that shot now. LeBron shoots the fadeaway quite often, as does KD. He shoots it a lot. Clay will shoot it. Kawhi will shoot it quite a bit off of pull-up jumpers and things of that sort. So there are a lot of players doing it.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Hey, Kobe, when you take a look at great NBA rivalries, your mind goes more to the past than the present. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe you can enlighten us why rivalries seem to matter more or were more in our minds from yesteryear as opposed to today.
Because we can recall where we were when.
Right?
The recollection is always more powerful in retrospect, right? I mean, that's always, you remember where you were when, Magic hit that running hook shot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some people can remember where they were when Nelson hit that shot that bounced off the back of the rim and almost touched the rafters and fell back in, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's those memories that create a lasting impact. And even though in today's game, you can look at it and say, there's no real rivalries in today's game, there are. But they're only sink in over time.
Mm-hmm. So you think the Cleveland-Golden State rivalry, because the greats are on opposite sides there, will linger and will resonate like that?
Absolutely.
And the second free throw, good. Kobe, a big part of the talent evaluation today is the psychological impact and that aspect, which I think will lead teams toward one prospect over another. If you were looking for personality traits in players and you were making that decision for a team, what trait would you value the most in a player?
No, curiosity. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's curiosity.
Why so?
Because curious people will always ask why things work or don't work.
And you were a big why asker.
You have to, because that's the only reason you win, is when you can figure out why things happen or didn't happen. Right? If you lose a game, a curious person won't point the finger. A curious person will say, well, why did we lose? Instead of just saying them.
Right.
They're going to go back and check the film and ask questions. Okay, why did we mess up there? Why did we blow that coverage there?
And the trend around the league, Kobe, is more offense, more three-pointers, certainly spacing, fluid offense. Scoring is up around the league in a measurable way from, it seems like, year to year. Do you like the way this is trending, or do you think the NBA should maybe put a governor on this, harness it in just a little bit?
Well, I think it'll swing back to the way,
Do you?
Yeah, because the game has gone through that progression before. And, it's constantly evolving. And so I think you'll see it swing back eventually. You'll have a couple teams that are just big and may have a dominant post player, and all of a sudden you're going inside, and then that team will win a championship, and then the rest of the teams in the league will try to copycat the way the game is played that way. Then things will swing back. So it's just natural evolution of the game, I think.
Out of bounds, Nets ball as Brooklyn keeps possession.
So close to getting the steal there, but the deflection equally as effective.
Right. I mean, that's solid defense. At the very least, you like seeing them muck it up and make things difficult. He does everything right except drain the shot.
Outside Dang. Ball's knocked loose. Here's Harris. Falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
And they've done the job on the offensive glass.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. Lakers trail by 8. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Caldwell Pope dishes to Clarkson. That's tipped.
Well, he continues to have trouble with his shot, well below 50% from the field in this period.
Outside, Lynn. They set the screen. Shoots off the screen. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Well, I wouldn't say the D was exceptional, but it certainly was enough to...
Got the shot! He caught it!
No better feeling.
Right on the money.
Gracious. 3 points at the buzzer.
An absolute miracle that one went in. A circus shot to end the quarter.
And that does it for the first quarter. Nets lead by 5. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And from Brooklyn guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Hustling on that offensive glass. That's led to a number of second-chance points.
I don't think the defense has been very good. And right now they're letting them pounce all over them and get second-chance opportunities.
Hey, Kobe, in recent years, we've seen a lot of players choosing in free agency to join up, join forces, join friends, other talented players. Think of Durant and Golden State, the big three with LeBron going down to Miami. What are your thoughts on that trend?
Well, everybody's got to do what they feel is best for them. Personally, it wasn't really my cup of tea. I'd much rather compete against those guys and do it that way. If winning in LA wasn't going to happen, then it just wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to leave and go someplace else and join forces to try to win a championship.
How about recruiting players, like say, hey, come to the Lakers and you and I can do something special here?
Yeah, listen, that's fine. That happens. Players talk to each other, play with each other. But it never crossed my mind to try to recruit another top player that I'm competing against.
Interesting.
Never. I've always wanted to compete against them. So that's a little strange to me.
We've got Dang. Ivica Zubac is out there with Nance. Then there's Jordan Clarkson, and it's Caldwell Pope in at the 2. That's the group for the Lakers to start the second quarter. There's Lin with the 3. Rebound the Lakers. And you think, Kobe, of these super teams, it's like they need backup. Like a buddy, like walking down the hall in high school with the bigger guy, right? I don't sense you ever...
No, but it's like, growing up, I watched Magic and Michael go at it. I watched Magic and Bird go at it. I don't want to see them play together. Personally, I don't want to see that.
Right.
Like, what would my childhood be if Magic and Bird played on the same team? What would we be watching?
Magic's Lakers, Jordan's Bulls, Bird's Celtics.
Yeah. I mean, it's
not
even
so and so, so and so, and so and so.
Yeah, if you ask Larry, you ask Magic, you ask Michael, they'd much rather compete against each other, right? Because you bring out the best in each other. They would have won every single championship from now until the day they retire if they played together, right? But that's not the point. Yeah. The point is the competition.
And your team.
Yes.
Now, Zubac, after Jeremy Lin's three-pointer that didn't go. That is good. And the Nets' lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Nance. And Kobe, your spectacular high school career at Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia, in that Philadelphia area, paved the way for your NBA career. Talk about some of the highlights of your days in high school.
Well, my days in high school were fun. I mean, I played at a small high school called Lower Merion High School, so not too many people heard of it. When you come to Philadelphia, the schools that you hear of are Overbrook, where Wilt Chamberlain went to school, Bartram, right, where Earl the Pearl Monroe went to school, right? But you never heard of little old Lower Merion High School, right? So it was a huge honor to be able to bring a state championship to Lower Merion and kind of put Lower Merion on the map, and that's the most exciting part about it.
Oh, a terrific story indeed. A huge honor, I'm sure. And he knocks down the first one. And Kobe, you've had so many fans from high school that carried over to your NBA days. In the stands now, in fact, you'll see fans with Lower Merion High School jerseys on.
How cool is that?
That's amazing.
How cool is that? To actually be able to see a bunch of Aces jerseys in the crowd when literally nobody knew where Lower Merion was. There's actually a school called Upper Merion. So everybody used to confuse the two. It's just say, hey, yeah, I saw you when you played at Upper Merion. Say, hold on, dude. No. Lower Merion, man. Get it right. Don't forget it. Lower Merion.
And you look at the NBA today and the social media, Kobe, a lot easier for NBA players to connect with fans over that social media platform. However, it's also easier to get people in trouble. Players have got to keep that periscope up, so to say. How hard do you think that is to manage?
Well, I think now in this particular generation, the sensitivity towards things you may hear or see on social media is much different than it would have been years ago. In other words, nowadays for athletes to be on social media, it's more easily tolerable for them to say something, right? Or to be able to speak their mind.
Yes.
And I think the important thing is just the consistency in that. If you have a thought and you want to say it. Right? Put it out on social media. Do whatever it is that you want to do with it. The key is just to be consistent and be who you are, not be afraid to be who you are.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. So I think for players, Kobe, when they've been criticized on social media, I think they feel it's better to sleep on a reply and see if that same thought still resonates the next morning. Because a lot of in the heat of a post game, you read something, guys go off.
Yeah, they do. And at the same time, when that does happen, because it's going to happen, no matter how many times we say it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when it does happen, to be able to step back and say, okay, yeah, that's how I felt in the moment. And I said what I felt.
Yeah.
And here's why I felt that way. And now you're ready to move on. I mean, it's a lot like life. I mean, people say stuff all the time that they don't necessarily mean, right?
I never felt, though, that you ever said anything that you truly did not believe in your heart.
Yeah, well, I think most people do, right? When you're having a moment, you're looking at it, you say, you know what, should I send this out on social media? Yeah, I really believe this. I really do. And then you send it, and the next morning you're like, oh, no, what?
You had no regrets, though?
No. I mean, everything's a life lesson for me.
Right. For all of us.
Yeah.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Brook Lopez is checked in for Zubac. Randall comes in for Nance. And it's Ingram in for Luol Deng. And the second free throw, good. And Kobe, did the Laker front office ever talk to you or just brush an idea past you to get your opinion on things, whether it be a trade or a free agent signing or whatever?
No, we never really did that. We never had that kind of working relationship. And I think it's actually better that way. Because then it enables me to have a better relationship with the guys where they know I'm not involved in those decisions. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because if so, it makes it weird. In that relationship, guys get traded and teammates are looking at you and it's hard for them to trust you and all sorts of stuff. The most conversation I had was with Dr. Buss in this very shaky time.
Yes.
Where I voiced my concerns and he said, listen, I promise you, we see the right trade, we will pull the trigger and I'm going to do everything I can to get you a championship. I promise you that. And after he said that, I trusted him completely. That was that. And then the following year, he made a beautiful trade for Pau Gasol.
He sure did. And a couple championships. Worked out well.
Yeah, it did.
Here's Booker after the basket by the Lakers. Crabbe kicks to Dinwiddie. Here's Kilpatrick. He's covered by Clarkson. Clock at 4. Shoots a fader. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Well, Kobe, more and more front offices around the NBA embracing analytics. At the same time, a lot of veteran executives who have kind of the old-time group have been somewhat critical of that approach. Which side do you take on that?
Well, I mean, I think there's use for analytics. You know, what they do is they tell you what's happening or what's happened. But you still need the keen eye to be able to understand why they happen. And that's what numbers can't tell you.
Put some meaning in back of the numbers.
Exactly. Yeah. Right? It's tough to understand if you see a player shooting this percentage. You know, there's the first 5 games of the season, he shot X. The last 3 games, he shot Y. And you don't understand why. The numbers will tell you that. But maybe he had something going on at home that was bothering him emotionally.
Yes.
Right? And therefore, his focus was elsewhere. And so his shooting percentage went down. Right? The numbers don't show you that. It doesn't show you the emotion of a player.
Well, it seems like with more threes and more skill-based play, the league is adapting more of a European style of play. You grew up in Italy, Kobe. You know about that style. You appreciated that style. How did that impact your personal development as a player?
Well, tremendously. I mean, if you look at the era in which I grew up in Italy, you look at the players that came out of there, whether it's myself, Pau Gasol, Manu Ginobili. I mean, there's a lot of players that grew up in that same time frame. That play the game fundamentally sound because I think all the coaches here in America were doing camps and clinics for coaches overseas.
Like Hubie Brown, right?
Exactly.
He would always go overseas in the summer. Yeah.
Exactly. And so we were products of that teaching. So all of our coaches growing up were implementing the fundamentals and the basics of the game taught by these amazing American coaches. And so we were kind of fortunate in terms of the time that we grew up.
There's Whitehead. Here's Dinwiddie. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Lakers leading by 3. Clarkson passes the ball. Picked by Randall. There's a good screen. Ball kicks to Clarkson. This one for 3. The second chance effort. Lopez, no luck.
Not the kind of strong finish it should have been. Something threw him off.
Picked by Mozgov. Here's Dinwiddie. And he uses the glass on the layup. And Kobe, while those coaches were imparting the fundamentals abroad, did that get lost in translation, you think, here in the States?
Well, I think they just took it for granted. I think players took it for granted. And you start seeing the teaching starts slipping. It's like, you know, if you have a parent that's constantly telling you to clean your room, after a while you start tuning out the parent.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that is what happened here in America, which is why you see some of our fundamental skills erode over time.
Are you saying that your girls, your 14, your 11, they tune you out?
Oh, my God, yes. I could say something a million times, but if Beyonce says it one time,
it's law.
That's it. Like, dude, I've been saying the same thing for years. No one listens to me.
Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. And after 20 years in the NBA, Kobe, you were able to play with so many teammates. Can you make a short list of some of your favorites over the years?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Pau Gasol for me. Derek Fisher.
And a quality person.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, right.
You know? And Derek Fisher.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
It couldn't have come at a better time. With the score being as close as it is, he had to make that play.
LeVert's checked in for the Nets. Russell comes in for Spencer Dinwiddie. Brooklyn trailing. Kobe LeBron said he learned so much about how to approach the game when you shared the floor on Team USA. What was it like playing with a guy like him, as you also played with Jordan, and then going up against him all those years?
Well, I think it was a shocking experience for them because I don't think they realized how much I talk trash. And so, what? I don't think they knew because, when you from a distance, we thought you were really quiet and all some stuff, and you get to practice, and I just don't shut up. And I'm just saying really brutal things about their game. And it's just, they're getting really ticked off. But then,
because you were right.
Yeah,
right,
but then the intensity of practice goes up another level. And then we'd all go out to dinner. And then the next morning, we come into the meeting, and I've already been working out for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And so then they see that. And then, D. Wade would come up and say, hey, man, I want to join you in your workouts. What time are we going? 5 a.m. Right, he'd be down there working out. And then Brian would say, I want to come too. So Brian would show up, and then Melo would show up. And all slowly but surely, we'd have our whole USA team in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning training.
What a constructive time, I would think,
for
those other players.
But it was fun for all of us because we got a chance to hang around each other and think about the competition. Right? So now when we come back to the NBA, fans are getting a better product. Right? Because we've all been working out and pushing each other and getting better off of each other. So now when we step on the court to compete against each other, that means we have to take our games to another level.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a great story. They get it again. Lopez with the bucket.
Listen, guys, Brook Lopez has a big body, and if you don't box him out, he's going to get some work done on the glass.
Here's Whitehead. There's the dish to Russell. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Pass to LeVert. Here's the screen. He's feeling it. Russell, no good.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Kobe, you were a player who lived in the gym. What motivated you as you go back and look at all those hours you spent in the gym to do that, to follow that path?
I loved it. I loved the game. It wasn't a matter of working hard. I didn't realize I was working hard until like my second or third year in the league when I realized here in the NBA, a lot of players don't do that.
Right.
It was kind of a big shock to me. Like I assumed everybody in the NBA
just worked hard.
Yeah, but to me it wasn't hard work. It was like, I love doing this. Like there's no place on earth I'd rather be than be here in this gym with a basketball and a hoop.
But the greats are always the hardest workers, aren't they? I mean, right, have you ever seen a great player who is not the hardest worker on their team?
No, I've seen players have great seasons and, and then the next season it's
they
not
fall.
So much.
Right.
And then they have another great one and the consistency isn't there. Mm-hmm. The truly great players love what they do. And that looks like hard work to the outside world.
Did you enjoy playing the game? There was so much you put into the game, but did you enjoy the game?
I did. I enjoyed the game. I loved playing, the competition and all that, the getting ready and all that. But I enjoyed practice more.
Did you?
I did. I enjoyed training and practice more than I did the game.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
It couldn't have come at a better time. With the score being as close as it is, he had to make that play.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Zubac is checked in for Lopez. Nance comes in for Julius Randle. Luol Deng is checked in for Brandon Ingram. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Clarkson.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Lakers trail by 4. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Nance a screen, and D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Jeremy Lin, he's checked in for Whitehead. Lynn against Caldwell Pope. There's the pick. 5 to shoot. Ball kicks to Zubats. Shoots over Mozgov. Zubats no good. Brooklyn with the ball. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run. Outside, Russell. Pass to LeVert. In the corner, it's Lynn. Cans it from downtown. And the Nets lead by 7.
And not just sustaining the lead, they're adding to it.
Right, and this is precisely what you want to do. Build up the lead and keep the pressure on.
Nance a screen. Here's Ball, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and Ball's size makes him a difficult guy to guard. He uses it well to pick up fouls while shooting.
He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. So he gets them both. Nets leading by 5. Russell passes to LeVert. Kicks it to Lynn. Free throw line jump shot. Got a piece of it.
And love the defensive activity from KCP, selling out there for the block.
Well, Kobe, I know you've got to go, but it's been a real treat for you to join us tonight. I know our fans have all enjoyed the broadcast. Thank you for stopping by.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. Looking forward to doing this again.
The great Kobe Bryant. And Doris, you've interviewed and seen Kobe so many times through the years. How different was it hearing him in this broadcast environment?
Well, not surprisingly, his incredible basketball intellect came to bear. This guy has an attention to detail and a passion for the game that maybe is unparalleled.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Nance. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Brooklyn. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
Well, the Nets have struggled at both ends, but defense is where they have got to take that next step. Better execution on the defensive end could enable them to bridge some of that talent gap, guys.
Pass to Russell. Screened by Russell. Brooklyn needs to get off a shot here. And it's LeVert missing. Lakers trail by 3. Dang gets a wide open look. The rebound by the Nets. Booker's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Out to the right wing. Here's LeVert. That 3 off the mark. Ball with it. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Nets out in front, up by 3. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Brook. Where is this team right now?
Oh, it's so exciting. You know, it's really thrilling to come out with such a great group of guys every night, you know, and play basketball. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Smiles on your face, Brook. Thanks for the time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. They got their lead up to as many as 8 points in the opening period. They didn't stop fighting in the second quarter as they maintained most of their first quarter lead and now lead by 3 at the break. And from what we saw so far from the Nets, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for your reserves to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got better.
Shaq, your take on the Lakers.
They were strong in transition. Seemed like the guys fed off the higher tempo. Certainly, they definitely got the looks they wanted, playing an outstanding game. They can keep it up in the second half, they may wear the other side out.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew for the start of the second half.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. It's been a clinic out there with D'Angelo Russell.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only
you could ask.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third. Lakers trail by 3. And Brooklyn looking who they've got. Jamari Carroll is out there with Hollis Jefferson. And there's D'Angelo Russell. Then it's Allen Crabbe. And it's Mozgov in at center. Carroll dishes to Russell. Mozgov sets a screen for Russell. Lopez with the steal. Now here's Caldwell Pope. He's guarded by Crabbe. Caldwell Pope kicks to Lopez. Ball, the pass to Caldwell Pope. Picked by Randall. Ball with it. He's picked up by Russell. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
And the three-pointer, a big part of KCP's game. About half his shots come from out there.
Russell passes to Hollis Jefferson. Now here's Carroll. Not a lot of room. Back to Mozgov. Russell from long range. Brooklyn working now with the new shot clock. Another shot, and it's blocked.
And Ball using those long arms to just swat away that shot. I love the hustle. Always nice to have a point guard who can block shots.
And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Caldwell Pope outside. Just 5 on the clock. For the lead, Ball with the bucket. And now a 3-point Laker lead.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Dishes it to Crabbe. The pass to Hollis Jefferson. The feed to Russell. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Nets passing it around. Russell kicks to Mozgov. 17-foot shot on the way. And that one hits back iron.
Well, an 0 for 3 start to the second half. They're going to have to start tightening things up on the offensive end.
And it's Ingram missing.
Well, the struggles from the field continue for this guy. The way it's going, he shouldn't be more than a secondary option for them at this point.
Shoots from 12. A second chance effort. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
One of the things you have to love, Kevin, about Hollis Jefferson is his energy. You know he's going to give you everything he's got on a night-by-night basis.
Two shots.
And the first one drops. Doors, we've talked about the evolution of the specialist, the pure 3-and-D guy, for example, who in that category are some of the best in your opinion.
Well, I'm so happy that Klay Thompson has evolved from a guy who believed coming into the NBA that he would strictly be a 3-and-D guy to a much more versatile scorer. But in today's iteration, I would have to say Danny Green won a championship for the San Antonio Spurs, doing nothing but absorbing the biggest threat on the offensive end for the opponent and then being able to make huge threes at timely opportunities. Patrick Beverley, another guy grinding it out, increasingly making shots, and of course, tenacious on-ball defender.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Yeah, with the score this tight, someone has to come over and take the charge, or at least contest the shot.
He dishes it to Mozgov. Over Lopez. That one's good. The Laker lead is cut down to 1 on the bucket from Mozgov.
Well, that's about court awareness. Hollis Jefferson playing very well within the confines of this offense.
Ball dishes to Lopez. He feeds it to Ball. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Ball's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded out game.
Now here's Carroll. He's guarded closely. Russell kicks to Crabbe. Screened by Russell. Carroll passes to Mozgov. Crabbe with the ball. Now guarded by Caldwell Pope. Crabbe, no good.
And this is really good defensive pressure, whether he gets the block or not.
No, Greg, you're absolutely right. This is strong defense. It's about making the shooter feel uneasy, and that's what he did.
Ingram dishes the ball. Lopez, a screen on Russell. Here's Ball. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, how about the concentration from Ball? Not allowing himself to be denied. Really got to wrap him up on these shots to prevent the bucket.
3 trips to the line so far for him in this one. Well, it seemed like destiny. The Lonzo Ball would end up with the Lakers. He found his way to the team he grew up watching.
You know, and rarely do you see a team and player be such a perfect fit. But that's the case here. And the pressure will be on Lonzo to succeed in L.A., put a lot of faith in getting to the Lakers. And remember, he turned down workouts from every other team because he wanted to wear that Laker uniform.
There's the triple. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles leads cut down to 3 on the bucket from Dinwiddie. Los Angeles has gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Ball kicks to Ingram, picked by Randall. And here's Caldwell Pope. 10 points for him. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Caldwell Pope's got 12.
Well, I like how Brook Lopez is doing a little bit of everything, including setting these rock-solid screens to get his teammates open.
Mozgov kicks to Dinwiddie. From outside, off the mark.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Count it, and the Laker lead has been cut down to 3 on the bucket from Harris.
Just great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and then trigger the fast break.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Caldwell Pope passes to Randall. Back to Caldwell Pope. Lopez a screen. Off the pick. No good there. So Brooklyn will take it the other way.
Not exactly a game that everyone will be talking about here, but both of these teams can show flashes at times.
We're seeing 2 teams that could be building more for the future, trying to instill a winning culture, and we'll see which team takes a step in that direction.
Here's Kilpatrick. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And the Lakers, Greg, for a long time could rely on the lure of Los Angeles to draw top free agents. History does a lot, it seems.
Yeah, Paul George listing them on his short list shows they still have that pull, but the Lakers will be big players in free agency, I believe, in the near future.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
And, of course, for the Nets, I mean, they won't control their own first-round pick until 2019. There's going to be some losing along the way with not much reward.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Zubac is checked in for Lopez. Nance comes in for Randall. And it's Clarkson in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And Greg, the Nets trading away the better part of a decade worth of draft picks when they went all in back in 2013 and 2014.
Yeah, going for vets like Darren Williams and Gerald Wallace, Paul Pierce, and of course KG. But unfortunately, all past their prime. That team only able to get to the second round, and boy, what a heavy price to pay for so little success in the postseason.
Nets passing it around. Here's Kilpatrick. Nance with the rebound. Lakers leading by 3. Here's Ingram. Not enough on that one as it misses. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the third. Harris drives in. He kicks to Mozgov. Here's Booker. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Lakers have gone 7 of 12 from the floor since coming out of the break. And it's Ingram missing.
He's obviously still trying to find the range. No success this quarter. You wonder what it would take to get him to pass the ball. You have to love that effort, getting after the basketball, fighting for a possession.
Inside, here's Clarkson on the money from 12 feet away. Clarkson's got 7 points in the game.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Harris outside. Feeds it to Dinwiddie. There's the pick. And Booker kicks to Harris. Harris missing again.
Yeah, coming off that screen, wide open, just can't convert.
Well, I think, Greg, that's exactly what you want. The screen was solid. The execution just fell a little bit short on the shot.
Zubac kicks to Nance. The dish now to Clarkson. Fires for 3. Booker pulls it in. Booker's got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Kilpatrick. He's covered by Clarkson. Mozgov passes to Kilpatrick. Here's Dinwiddie. Lays it up and banks it in. Dinwiddie's got 5 points in the quarter.
How about that move? Is this guy special or what? Just love watching him operate inside.
Pass to Clarkson. Down low. Out to Nance. Now, here's Ball. He's got 16. Shot from the wing. Offensive rebound. Zubac off target at the rim. Nets trail by 3. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Mozgov down low. Zubac defending. LA's gone 6 of 8 on 3-pointers in the game, an outstanding 75% mark. Clarkson kicks to Ball. Back to Clarkson. Nance a screen. Now, here's Clarkson. He's tightly guarded.
Mozgov's such an effective player. His defensive presence, ability to block shots is so crucial to this team.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. Of course, you talk about versatility of players, but as a broadcaster, You've been a courtside reporter, game analyst, a studio host, you name it. What do you prefer to do? What do you like most?
There's no question about it, Kev. The analyst role is the absolute most fun. Now, the only thing that might push that over the top is to sit beside the great Kevin Harlan.
Luol Deng is checked in for the Lakers. Passes it to Whitehead. There's the screen. Down low. It's tipped. 3-on-3. Ball with it, and it's Lin picking him up. Pass to Zubac. In transition, here come the Nets. Lin with the ball. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. And if you're wondering where the points are coming from here tonight, here's a breakdown in the scoring between the front court and back court tonight for the Nets.
And it's been guard play, which really has shouldered the burden offensively here. They'd like a bit more production from the front court, but in the meantime, this backcourt has kept them in the game.
1:32 left in the third. Clarkson dishes the ball. Now Nance. He's got 8. Top of the key, Clarkson. In the corner, Nance with it. Shot clock at 5. Kicks it to ball. Ball stolen. The pass to LeVert. And the Nets miss again. Lakers leading by 5. With the shot. And the shot is long.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
The Nets working the ball around now. Shot clock at 6. Lin from long range. Ball with the rebound. Ball's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Zubac. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
It's his first trip to the line.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
The first free throw is good, and the Lakers making a change here. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Lin against Clarkson. Pass to Whitehead. Looking to end the drought. Cans it from downtown. Whitehead's got 8 points.
Well, we know this. Jeremy Lin knows how to run an offense. His ability to find the open man uncanny.
And we'll be right back after this. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Nets trail by 3. A moment now to reset the lineups, brought to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Ball runs point with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to his side. They're the backcourt. Deng out there with Nance. And it's Zubac in at the center position. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Here's Whitehead. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. Lakers leading by 3. Deng kicks to Caldwell Pope. Dishes the ball. Back to Caldwell Pope. Nance a screen. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
And that's only his first miscue of the night. He's been unbelievably steady so far.
Randall's checked in for Larry Nance. And a change for the Nets. Alan Crabb, he's checked in for Whitehead. Nets trail by 3. Out left to the wing. Lynn the pass to Booker. Back to Lynn. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And Jeremy Lin at 6'3" with good size for the point guard position.
Well, because of that size, I think it helps him finish in the lane, certainly, even if he's got to go over bigger guys. He's also on the defensive end, got the length necessary to guard the 1 and the 2, and that's a real advantage, Kev.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First one falls for him.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Brook Lopez is checked in for the Lakers. And he can't hit the second.
Well, it seems like it's been a while since the breakthrough of Lin's sanity, but Jeremy Lin is still breaking down walls for Asian and Asian American athletes. This guy has shattered stereotypes and inspired many to follow in his...
Here's LeVert. The feed now to Lin. Booker outside. Nets passing it around. The dish to Lin. Shoots a 3. Los Angeles leading by 5. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Caldwell Pope with a wide open look. And again, it's the Lakers from deep. And Doris, Jeremy Lin has been honest. In the past, he says that some have doubted him.
And I think that's always been the case for Jeremy Lin. Go back to his high school days. For Palo Alto High School, he wins a California State title. He's first team All-State, and yet he did not have a ton of Division I scholarship offers. It's surprising when you think about the level of competition he faced as a young basketball player.
The 3. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Lopez, a screen on Lin. Ball kicks to Lopez. He dishes it to Randall. Caldwell Pope outside. The fader. Another miss by Caldwell Pope. Nets trail by 8. Passes to Hollis Jefferson. Outside, Lin. Here's Booker, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Julius Randle picks one up.
There's no doubting over the last season or so, Trevor Booker has shown he can be a starting caliber power forward in this league. This guy's tough inside. He can make threes. Look out.
And the knock on Trevor Booker, Doris, is that at 6'8", he's considered undersized at that power forward position.
Well, Kev, thanks to the success of someone like Draymond Green, I think teams these days are more focused on skill at the 4 than size.
Take a break.
And now that Booker has expanded his range, he's certainly a guy who increasingly fits in the way the game is played.
First one falls for him.
Well, I think you have to like the skill set of Trevor Booker. This is a guy who knows his role well and plays within himself. He's shown himself to be a capable big guy.
Both free throws good from Booker. And the Lakers, Greg, have acquired some intriguing young talent. Do you see this group blossoming into elite status?
I mean, there's still some question marks. Injuries have been an issue. I do see some all-star potential for some of their young fellas. Superstar potential, though, tougher to say. They've got something to build on, though, and that's key.
And not the first time we've seen this. When KCP's confident, when he's in rhythm, he can fill it up with the best of them.
Now here's Crabbe. He's guarded by Caldwell Pope. Crabbe kicks to Lynn. Lynn a screen on Deng. Crabbe dishes to Booker. Here's LeVert. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
What a turnaround in the second half. So much more accurate overall.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. Doris, some players, no matter how hard they try, can't make free throws in games. You spent a lot of your playing time at the line, playing guard for Providence. Why do you think this mental block is there for some players?
It's amazing the power of the mind relative to sports performance, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Because I do believe very often this can be much more about the mental than the physical side of it. Think back to Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, guys who are physically massive, and they say the size of their hand impacts their ability to shoot it. But to me, there is no question about it that sometimes it's just you're afraid. It's like the yips in golf. You just can't figure it out. And it becomes a scary place to be, standing alone on the free throw line.
Good comparison. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, during that last break, I heard Kenny Atkinson talking with his team, and he was emphatic. He said, we are not going to win this game playing this way, fellas. You've got to step it up. You've got to get aggressive, and you've got to battle to get back in this thing. See if that pep talk got him going, guys.
Ingram kicks to Caldwell Pope. Lopez sets a screen for Caldwell Pope. Score that one for him, his 8th field goal. 8 for 11 on a very accurate night.
And part of an overall effort for Kentavious going for higher percentage shots. That time working inside.
Here's Lynn.
Well, guys, you think back to 2013 when the Nets pushed all their chips in for a title. When that collapsed, they had to embrace Plan B. So what do? They go into the Spurs organization, hire from that brain trust, and now are trying to build from the ground up.
Now, gentlemen, two shots. Loose shots.
And that one falls for Lynn.
Jeremy Lin is an aggressive player, Kevin, someone who will make things happen. I like how aggressive he is. He sets a tone with that aggression.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Mozgov's checked in. So he picks up just one from the line that time.
He's forcing the action now, finally getting to the charity stripe after no freebies in the first half.
Ball no good. And the new Nets leadership now thinking long term.
Right, Kev. I think that this is a team, an organization that wants high-character individuals. They're using words like consistency and sustainability. If you want the model, it's the Spurs' 2-decade playoff run. That's the goal for the Brooklyn Nets.
Well, the grimace of pain tells it all. He's hurt, and let's hope he's okay.
And I'll tell you, this is something you never like to see.
No, obviously something that, every player fears. The NBA has made player safety a priority, but injuries continue to happen.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Ennis is checked in.
And really no other way to put it, but the Lakers with that dramatic front office change last season around that deadline and new big-name leadership. The hope is that they can escape from what's been an awfully rocky patch here of Lakers history.
Randall kicks to Lopez. Ingram wide open, and another three for the Lakers.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
They set the pick. Randall against Lynn. Now here's Carroll. He's covered closely, and the Nets miss again. And the turmoil for the Lakers up top has certainly been fodder for the newspapers in Southern California.
Yeah, aborted takeover attempts, infighting, court battles. I mean, this has been a soap opera. But one thing is certain, in order to be successful as a franchise, you need everybody on the same page.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Brandon Ingram, the second overall pick in 2016 out of Duke. What do you make of his rookie season?
You know, very much a work in progress. You have to remember how young he is. Didn't turn 19 until 3 months before the draft, and he's still rail thin. So he's got a chance to improve very quickly over the next few seasons as his body continues to mature.
2 shots.
The first one falls. And Doris, if you talk about the challenge for the Nets coaching staff, how do you establish a culture of winning on a team that's going to lose on most nights?
You know what, Kevin, it's all about winning habits, and that means the daily work that you put in every single day. There's an ethic that's conducive to winning that's built slowly over time.
Both free throws good from Lynn. Los Angeles leading by 13. Brewer with the ball. And here's Caldwell Pope. To the paint. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. That one on Mozgov.
Well, given his height, Lopez has an ability to power through contact. Just tremendous strength from the big man.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Hart's checked in, and the Nets making a change here as well. D'Angelo Russell's checked in for Jeremy Lin.
1 shot, mind the lanes.
Well, Brook Lopez was drafted by the Nets. Remember, he played almost a decade there, half in New Jersey, the other half in Brooklyn. And when that team went young, it made sense to move him to a more competitive environment.
Carroll kicks to Russell. He feeds it to Crabbe. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. 5 on the clock. There's a screen. There's Russell with the 3. Down goes basket number 6 for him this game. He's taken 12 shots and made half of them. And Lopez saw a little of everything with the Nets.
Well, you think about he played under 5 different head coaches and double that if you count the interims he had to play with. So even though he spent so many years with one franchise, there was not a whole lot of continuity for him. A free agent after the season, we'll see if he can find a more stable situation.
Now here's Carroll. Defense is right there. Screened by Russell. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Crabbe kicks to Russell. No good from outside.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And that one's good, Ingram.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
There's no doubt. They're making all the right moves. Their chemistry tonight has been phenomenal.
And here's Los Angeles. They're on a 13-5 run here. Lopez right side. It's good. With that basket, he's now 5 for 9.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Carroll kicks to Mozgov. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Randall's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Hart the pass to Caldwell Pope. He kicks it to Randall. Here's Hart. He's guarded by Russell. Mozgov with the block, and he's able to get it back. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here. That'll put Brook Lopez on the line. That one on Mozgov. And Doris, it's nice to see Brook Lopez the last few seasons stay relatively healthy.
Well, I think for 7-footers, anyone who plays on the interior, you can get such wear and tear on the body. I think he's taken motivation from those injuries, and he's making the most of his time on the court.
Dloading is checked in for Hart.
One shot, mind the lanes.
The free throw off from Lopez. So there's a new procedure for choosing starters in the All-Star game, Doris. Fans account for 50% of the vote, as you know. Players, 25%. Media, 25%. What do you think of that?
I love that the fans have a vote. I would like to see the percentages changed in this way. I would like players, the peers, to have 50% weight. Give the media and fans 25% each. So just swap it so that the peers are dictating the outcome of the All-Star.
Or even if you just had maybe 2 players from each team, guys with some respect and some nice perspective to fill that role you're talking about.
That's a great point. You pick your leaders from your group, and they cast the vote. Perfect.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1 option on every trip.
He's played up to his full potential tonight, and he's been playing to the crowd, too. He loves being the star attraction, even if it doesn't happen on a regular basis. Jordan Clarkson, he's checked in for Dloading. And for the Nets, they're shooting around 36%. They're just not able to finish consistently. Picked by Mozgov. Mozgov sets a screen for Carroll. And he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
A little emphatic on the finish from DeMare Carroll. Go ahead with the rim shaker.
Clarkson against Russell. Clarkson kicks to Ingram. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Taking 2 shots.
Two shot.
That free throw, no good. Doris, we know coaches need to win to keep their jobs. However, they need great players to win, which falls on the shoulders of a general manager. So why are more coaches fired for poor team performance than GMs, you think?
You know, I think what's fascinating to me, and this is a supposition I've heard other broadcasters talk about, which I believe should be instituted. Instead of just showing the coach's record on national broadcast, why don't we include the record of the GM? Because the coaches are not ultimately responsible unless they're responsible for both jobs, which we do see on occasion. But to me, the general manager has a significant role to the win-loss record, and both should be included.
And maybe when the owner says, hey, I'll pick the coach, it doesn't affect you. But if you pick the coach, you're tied with that coach. You're joined at the hip.
Great point. Great point.
Clarkson dishes to Ingram. Lopez a screen. Back to Clarkson. Feeds to Caldwell Pope. 6 to shoot. Here's Ingram. Los Angeles with another miss.
Boy, just enough defensive attention to throw that shot off target.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Los Angeles.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And a lot of players tonight helped contribute to this performance, but in particular, a real good game it was for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Boy, what a security blanket this guy has been on the offensive end. He made sure they didn't suffer any cold spells, and anytime the offense started to get stagnant, they could get him the basketball, and he'd get them in the right position.
Some changes for the Lakers. Larry Nance has checked in for Julius Randle. Dang comes in for Brandon Ingram, and Hart subbed in for Caldwell-Pope. Lopez hits them both.
Well, you have to like the length of Brook Lopez and the fact that he understands he has that advantage on both ends of the floor.
Allen kicks to Harris. Allen a screen on Deng. There's 38 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And the pass to Whitehead from downtown. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And a good judge of spacing. Sees he can get it off over the taller man.
He did a nice job feeling the defense out, rising up with ease from the perimeter.
Lopez a screen. There's the screen. Now, here's Clarkson, guarded closer. Here's Nance. Rebound, Brooklyn. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Julius. Now look, you're banging in the paint, but what do you see from your backcourt?
They do a great job of, they obviously can score the ball, but getting us into things and running the offense very well and leading the team that way.
Well, they led you to a win tonight, Julius. Thank you for your time. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.